Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the testing of hypothesis. In statistical inference, there are some problems which are classified like theory of estimation and testing of hypothesis. Already I discussed theory of estimation deals with estimating the unknown parameters of the population, either by point estimation or interval estimation method. The first topic is already discussed. Now we go to the testing of hypothesis. Testing of hypothesis was introduced by J. Niemann and E. S. Pearson. But basically, what is hypothesis? Hypothesis means simply a statement about a population and sample. That means whatever the statement you will take it called hypothesis regarding population or sample. Now we discuss about various types of hypothesis. Statistical hypothesis. Statistical hypothesis is a statement. Simply it is a statement about the population or its parameters or probability distribution or its characteristics of the population, in which the verification can be done on the basis of the information available from the sample. The statistical hypothesis is denoted by capital H. Now we have so many hypotheses like a simple hypothesis or simple statistical hypothesis. What is statistical hypothesis or simple hypothesis? A statistical hypothesis which specifies the population completely about their parameters, about their distribution, like it is called simple hypothesis. Suppose, for example, in normal population, mu comma sigma square, the symbol is sigma square. The statistical hypothesis can be written as mu is equal to mu naught and sigma square is equal to sigma naught square. Mu 1 is equal to mu 2 and sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. Now we go for composite hypothesis. A hypothesis which does not specify the population completely is called composite hypothesis. For example, in the case of normal populations, mu is equal to mu naught, sigma square not equal to sigma naught square, or mu naught equal to mu naught and sigma square is equal to sigma square naught. Mu 1 is equal to mu 2 and sigma square not equal to sigma 2 square. Mu 1 not equal to mu 2 and sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. Like that we can write down composite hypothesis. Now we move to null hypothesis. Null hypothesis given by Professor Aure Fisher, the hypothesis which may be accepted or rejected. It is based on the statement. So null hypothesis, the hypothesis of no difference between population as well as sample. It is the hypothesis either to accept or reject the hypothesis, and it is denoted by H naught. Suppose, for example, H naught mu is equal to mu naught, that is population mean is significant. H naught sigma square is equal to sigma naught square, that is population variance is significant. So after having the null hypothesis, the alternative hypothesis which is against the null hypothesis, whatever hypothesis taken, it is against the null hypothesis, it is denoted by H1. It is denoted by H1. So example, if mu is equal to mu naught, then alternative is H1 mu naught equal to mu naught. If H naught is sigma square is equal to sigma naught square, then alternative is H1 sigma square not equal to sigma naught square. Now after we define critical region. It is an important concept in the testing of hypothesis. Suppose that a sample space is divided into two classes C and C bar. Suppose any sample value x belongs to C, then null hypothesis H naught is rejected. If x belongs to C bar, then H naught is accepted. The region C is called rejection region and region C bar is called acceptance region. The rejection region C is called critical region. This is the picture I have given. I divide the sample space two part. One is critical region, another one acceptance region. So this is if x belongs to C, H naught is rejected. If x belongs to C bar, then H naught is accepted. Two types of errors. So based on that one, decision will be taken to accept or reject the null hypothesis H naught on the basis of information supplied by the sample. It may cause two errors. The two types of errors, what we call type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 error, the error of rejecting null hypothesis H naught when it is true is called type 1 error. That means if H naught is true, then we are going to reject the null hypothesis. That is the type 1 error. Type 2 error is the error of accepting the null hypothesis H naught when it is not true, it is a false, then it is called type 2 error. When null hypothesis is not true, then it is accepted. And this is the picture given that H naught is true, reject H naught is wrong, that is type 1 error. H naught is true, accept H naught, it is correct. And H naught is false, reject H naught is correct. H naught is false, accept H naught, that is wrong, type 2 error. The level of significance. The level of significance is the size of the critical region or the probability of type 1 error is called level of significance. It is denoted by alpha, expressed in percentages like alpha percentage. Alpha is equal to probability of type 1 error, that is equal to probability of rejecting H naught when H naught is true. That it is symbolically we will write down probability of x belongs to C. When x belongs to C, H naught is rejected. Given that H naught is true should be written that H naught. It is in terms of likelihood function, integral C L naught into dx or integral C f of x into dx. Now we go to the beta. Beta is the probability of type 2 error, that is probability of accepting H naught when H1 is true. So this can be written as probability of x belongs to C given H1, that is integral C L1 into dx, integral H1, that is L1 into dx, that is integral C f of x into dx. Power of test. The power of test can be written as the probability of rejecting null hypothesis. The probability of rejecting the null hypothesis H naught when H naught is false or H1 is true is called power of test. It is denoted by 1 minus beta. Therefore, power of test is equal to 1 minus beta, that is probability of accepting H naught when H1 is true. It is written as probability of x belongs to C H1 integral C L1 into dx. Uniformly most powerful critical region. Among all critical regions, there is just one whose power and size is maximum than the other. Then the critical region is called uniformly most powerful critical region or best critical region. For example, let us take two critical regions C and C1 with sizes alpha and alpha 1 and powers 1 minus beta and 1 minus beta 1. If C is called best critical region, satisfying two conditions. One is alpha 1 less than or equal to alpha and 1 minus beta greater than or equal to 1 minus beta 1. This is the part 1 consists of only definition. See in the next section part 2 we go for Neyman Pearson lemma and other theorems. Thank you very much.